Welcome everybody, we are the Grin Brothers, and Merry Christmas in November.
What he said.
When we're recording this, but it's for Christmas Day that we're uploading this.
You didn't have to tell them we were doing it in November.
I felt like bringing it up, it's funny that way. In any case, today's video is actually one I've been considering for a long time, something that I really wanted to do. And it's only sort of now that I thought, this seems like an appropriate time to do it.
I have no idea.
I didn't think it would actually... We could have done it earlier in the year. I didn't think it'd be done so quickly, what was needed to be done in order to make this video. But things progressed quicker than I ever expected. And so this video, it's a bit of a thank you video, as it were.
He's clicking on a lot of things.
Yeah. A thank you video to all the people who have made artwork for the channel.
Oh, yeah. We do have a fair chunk of that.
Because before we just had the Grin Brothers logo, which I made,
and then someone upgraded.
And then upgraded, well, Rafi then made a vomit-inducing yellow background, and then a friend of mine from Miiverse, Cybershock, upgraded it, thinking the background was actually supposed to be gold. It was not, but
we've used it anyway, it's a HD version, it's dope.
It's shinier.
Yeah.
And we also had the artwork of Nankarin Hat, made by a friend of ours.
Yes, we did.
Yes. And that's been used for the tea time, and I thought, you know what, it saves on money to keep that one as a tea time video picture, so we've kept having that, and, you know, it's nice, so, yeah, we've kept it. But, you know, we wanted more artwork to spruce up the channel, so eventually, when I got more active in DeviantArt and set up a PayPal account, I said, hey, let's commission some artwork.
And so he commissioned artwork.
Yes.
That's the end of the story. See you guys.
So I thought, hey, let's make a thank you video. And so I've compiled the... this is mainly for the main artwork we've done. The main, I think it's like 12 pieces. I think I may have thrown an extra one in. But it's for the main art pieces that have been commissioned for the channel. And I've put them in order of when they got made and sent to us. So,
okay.
Yeah. So me and Rafi are just going to go through them all. Share some thoughts. The very first one, I set up the very first one, as you will pop up on screen here, is the Grin Brothers mini artwork, or GB mini artwork by Sipple.
You're doing the editing for this video, right? Because otherwise it's just going to be a blank screen.
Yes. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Here's a blank screen to see people talk about pictures.
Stare into the void! Yeah, Kipple? Cripple?
Cipple.
So Kipple, yeah, not Cripple.
I always just said Sipple, but
I used to think it was Cripple, to be honest. It might be Sipple. It depends. How do you pronounce your C's? Yeah, Sipple? I don't know.
I know. Yeah, but yeah, Sipple, when you see their little avatar, the little UFO thing by their name, yeah?
They've marked their work, as most artists do, preventing stealing.
Several artists didn't mark their work. They've given their artwork, trusting us, and I'm like, why would you do that? I feel uncomfortable now.
I don't think we're going to be able to pass it off as our own artwork.
Never. But like, I feel uncomfortable. You know, it's like, I want to be able to promote you people. Stop not including your art or your signatures in them.
We just put the name.
I know, but in the summary...
We can draw it on with, like, MS
Don't want to done it. But yeah, I put up a DeviantArt post. I had some people in mind I was going to commission, and then proceeded to commission only 2 of them in the end out of the 12 artworks. But I put up a post, and immediately I got contacted by this person who does proper, artwork as a living in Italy.
Yeah.
And that's Sipple. And she did this, our very first artwork. With only 2 pictures of Nankarin Hat as reference. The one done by a friend, and the one I drew on Miiverse and then coloured in with paint fill.
So, 1 actual reference and 1 train wreck. Yes.
And it's amazing how it's turned out. There was a bit of confusion, admittedly, in that the idea that seemed to be passed off was, like a sort of, tea sort of set, sort of background sort of thing. But I was expecting Nankarin Hat to be at a table having tea, was the idea at first. Or, because the idea was mini, as in like Alice in Wonderland, sort of, they've shrunk down.
Yeah.
Instead, the tea cloth became just the background, which looks really cool.
It's
but
very
it was
pretty.
Different than what I was expecting.
The one thing I've always questioned with this picture, because it's a really nice picture. Well, there's 2
massive
things,
feather.
Actually. Not even that.
Almost bigger than him.
1, that teacup is way overfilled. Someone needs to be told off that. Secondly, that is very uncomfortable to sit on an analog stick like that.
Yeah, it's like that Pokemon Jasmine drawing. As people are like, where's the magnetite?
So, like, a trend you'll notice with these pictures is Hat will have, like, varying differences in every single picture. Now,
which you like because you like the interpretation.
Part of this is because everyone just seems to draw what they want. The other part is because I don't stop them from doing that and, in fact, encourage it. Because part of my joy for getting Liam to pay for commissions is that I like seeing... Like, I like artist integrity a lot. I like seeing their own creative stuff. I like seeing what they do.
Yeah.
And so I like being able to go, here's my character. This is the baseline of what he's supposed to be, but shake it up a bit if you want.
There's only a few bases
So
that I
notice
kind
his
of
eyebrows change in almost every picture. His colouring changes in almost every
Yellow
picture.
tentacles there, you can see the yellow.
His glasses change in almost every picture, and his feather is very inconsistent.
These first three are very interesting in that they had almost no references to provide for them.
Yeah.
They were the most, they could have ended up anything. But what they all ended up was nice, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow,
this is trash! We've got to save that for beer.
This is very nice. Really like it. Too bad the Xbox 360 is dead. Or dying.
It's gone past its prime.
But it was a really nice start to thing, and it's the only time that someone has ever lengthened Nanka's dress instead of shortening it.
Yeah, which is always impressive.
Yeah, like...
And I would make a comment on breast size, but she's hiding them. So.
Yeah, you'll hear that comment a lot.
Yeah,
you'll see that a lot. But yeah, thank you very much. We use it for our GB mini radios, which we've got quite a few stored up to be used. So you'll probably have seen quite a few of them leading up to this Christmas period. So moving on from Sipple, although I think we went on for quite a bit here. This is gonna be a long one.
Stuff and
yeah.
Such.
So then we move on to Beerbop. I was surprised how quickly she produced this.
Put the mouse in the middle of the artwork.
Beerbop's interruption artwork.
Yeah.
Which Raffi came up with this idea, which he said, have them with a truck, running from a truck, and then he later corrected me and said, no, I meant them run over by a truck.
Yeah, I didn't mean like driving a truck or anything. I was thinking more like Sonic Adventure 2 getting crushed by a truck.
But by that I thought you meant them, because you usually run away from the truck, you survive.
Yeah, no, I had no intention of that. Well, the idea would be, my initial thought. I mean, I still like the artwork. It's still, it's really nice. It does its purpose.
It still has that fear-inducing as you seem to want.
Yeah. The initial idea.
Give us a moment in blood from the looks of it.
The reason we needed a moment is because we were dying. But in this, it's just before our imminent death. So that does the job just fine. And it's like written in blood. It really raises the question how the driver sees, but I guess that's why he's trying to run us over, I also like our logo being on the truck, insinuating the fact that we are killing ourselves.
Yeah,
slowly.
there's Beerbop.
Actually signs her work.
Has her signature nicely placed on the number plate of the truck, which I thought was a really cool inclusion. This was her first time drawing a truck as well.
An oddly specific thing. I don't know why, it just seemed kind of bizarre to me. The idea, at the same time it doesn't, but it's also bizarre. It's not really something you think about. This is my first experience drawing a truck. It's like, okay, that's I don't know. I guess I used to draw trucks when I was 5 because it's a simple shape. I don't know. The idea of not having drawn a truck is both weird, but also the idea of specifically mentioning that you have drawn trucks before is also weird. No, this is weird.
And the interruption arc we ended up using quite a bit. I really like Nanka's hat flying off and her braids sort of flying back behind her.
Yeah, again, cool. You'll notice the feather is another colour, I believe. It's a different shade of red. It still didn't have the green on it.
Hat's eyebrows are a lot bigger here.
Look like potato chips.
Yeah.
But my glasses, yet again, different colour, green, the way initially intended, and actually have the little nose piece, despite the fact that it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'm a hat. It has no benefit.
I thought it works really well. The hat looks soft here.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah, which makes sense. I think the art style fits very well. So thank you very much for that.
I don't know what hat's made of. He might be made of denim for all I know. Also, can you commission denim hat?
So thank you very much for the interruption artwork, B37. We've been using it a lot.
Yeah.
Because we seem to constantly get interrupted. Then after that, one that was needed because Rafi here.
Yeah, 18 rated.
The 18 rated artwork.
I'm terrible with my
to
language.
warn people that things are going to be 18 rated in said episode. And here, like, the initial idea was, I thought of it as like a bigger, more full body sort of thing. This one's done by oh yeah, because I mentioned the other name. This one's done by Ang Yusok from
Star Team.
From Star Team 2017. They were a group,
Again,
Vietnamese group of originally 3 artists. Now they're 4 artists. They're growing.
Oh, for
and
some reason I thought the reverse. Like, oh god, what happened?
They were like making this board game, this doll making board game, where you actually had the like sewing set and such, and they wanted funds for it, so they've also been doing artwork and such and
Well,
commissions.
that's convenient, given hat is fabric.
Yeah, kind of convenient, and you can see the stitch lines on
Do
hat.
I use shampoo
really
or
nice.
fabric softener?
There are many questions here.
You'll also notice hat's feather now has green on it and is pink.
Yeah, as it was
Eyebrows
originally
are
intended.
now squared.
And also coming off his
Sunglasses
head.
have changed yet again.
He also is wielding weapons.
I'm wielding weapons. I have patches. The general idea was this kind of thing was left more to me because hat and me generally my language isn't the best, as people may have picked up.
Rafi doesn't tend to give me many ideas, so I usually am doing a lot of the commissions myself in terms of describing them. So I try to make sure Rafi has a few.
And I thought, well, what's more 18 rated than unnecessary violence?
I guess you could say there's a kind of a tease of Nanka. I kind of like how innocent it is, because the idea, that 18 is basically, sort of changing room wall, and Nanka's sort of dressing or undressing behind it. And here it's just like
Hat is the guardian.
Yeah, yeah. And here it's just a slip of the shoulder, really. But I think that makes it cuter in a way.
Yeah,
it's like a sweeter thing to it.
Compared to the murderous rage of Hat with his lightsaber and various other weapons. I like the knife a lot.
Yeah.
The knife is really nice.
Hat's come out really well. I really like, of course, Nanka here. The only thing I'd say is her braid's a lot shorter than I thought it'd be, but I like the expression of her face. It really does, along with the shoulder slip, really portrays a feeling of innocence.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she's coming out from behind an 18+ symbol.
Hat's facial expression is top tier and expresses...
Although the less innocent thought here is, of course, the 18+ thing was meant to be big to cover her entirely as she's getting changed, where obviously, aside from it being a white void below.
Yeah, everything needs to be a white void. Nice.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah,
all of this is nice artwork.
I think this was the first one which started doing the patchwork stuff and all that.
Yeah.
So, and the idea, of making sure the stitching. It's kind of funny how, despite never being previously drawn, the sort of tentacle suction cups.
Yeah.
Started becoming.
I mean,
thing.
octopuses are supposed to have suction cups.
Yeah. It's also plush. How many times do you find a plush octopus where they've gone to that level of detail?
I've actually seen some before. They're usually just like little balls.
Yeah, hat with weapons is appropriate, and basically there's everything here that, aside from any swearing, which obviously it's a picture, so you can't really have that properly done. It kind of illustrates the 18+ thing, but in a way that's appropriate
Still
for a
child
child.
appropriate.
Yeah, because of course a child may see that and then
Yeah,
choose to then ignore it because that's what children do.
They will ignore it. No child ever listens to an 18-year-old.
But hopefully parents will see it. So
You think parents watch their kids?
after that, we go on to the ones which I was a bit more thorough in making sure it was more specific, because I wanted accurate character design so people had more references for them, so a better basis. So I went to MG Coco, and whose art style I liked, and I saw they were affordable prices, so I commissioned a drawing of Nanka. I think one of the reasons I went to I think part of the reason was because I'm pretty sure I saw them doing the sheer tights / stockings.
Yeah.
With a good level of detail, and no offense to the other artists, but a lot of the artists kind of just did it as a solid black.
Yeah.
There's a bit more lighting and shading to it, and you kind of see a bit of the skin colour of this with Nanka here.
Yeah.
She also does the nose of Nanka right. Small and sort of like button, sort of round, like the Astro Boy sort of nose sort of thing. Not the giant ones of like the scientists, but like the small, really round nose. And her characters tend to have that as a habit. She's also one of the few artists to get Nanka's chest size right without making it gigantic.
That is true.
Because a lot of artists seem to have this habit of increasing Nanka's chest size.
The big titty.
And it's funny, like, her dress comes across as really long here. Yeah, it's still actually above the knees. You can see it from the drawing. Which is interesting, but because it gives the impression of it being long. But it's just that Nanka's got long legs here.
Yeah.
But
I like the background. It's cute.
Yeah. And she also added a detail I never had before, which is the fuzziness of the hemline of her dress,
Yeah.
which ended up carrying over to later ones. She also added a really nice feature in the backgrounds, because you noticed I said for likes, because I also provided likes and dislikes to give a better sort of thematic to it and capture the essence. She noted likes of video games and anything Halloween related, so pixel bats became the background.
Skeletons.
But also added the bit of feminine charm to Nanka and having a sort of a soft pink for the background. So it really captures the whole drawing here. Like the main thing was just for Nanka, like I often drew her in that pose, so that's why I asked for her posing, that arms behind back. But the whole drawing embodies so much of Nanka as a character, so it's perfect as the primary reference.
Sure, they're happy with the pose as well, because from what I've gathered, hands are the bane of artists.
Yeah!
So...
I remember this one comic where it's like someone trying to, someone's drawing comes to life, and it's like, I am a representation of your artistic talent. And it's like praising the person, and he goes, now, grab my hand, the hand is terribly drawn.
Yeah.
But yeah,
one artist famous in history for drawing good hands.
Yeah, skin tone's just right, it's pale without being completely white, unlike Raffi here. Eyes have got that sort of orangey flame to them. Everything here is really accurate. And you have really good a bit of shading there on the right side.
Yeah, that's what artists do.
Yeah, And then so thank you very much for that, MG Coco. It's I've used it a lot.
Yeah.
And then of course we got once again hiring from Star Team 2017. One of the other artists, Sakujo, was really excited about the idea of drawing Hat.
Yeah. So I mean, a fair few people seem to, weirdly enough, the two characters that seem to have gotten the most interest. I mean, Nanka gets interest because it's, a girl.
Yeah, there's a lot of liking for Nanka in terms of
waifu material. Hat people seem to take interest because it's different.
Yeah, when people want to experiment, they like the idea of Hat.
Which is part of why. I mean, Hat was basically a matter of, I like top hats, I like tentacles. Sunglasses help represent me. I based the top hat off of a top hat I own, which is why it's got the feather. I just changed the colour of it. And the colour scheme is just based off colours I like. Sunglasses, yet again, they're based off my sunglasses.
This one's slightly different with the sunglasses because the frame itself has become green. But this does serve as the basis for all hat drawings going on forward.
Yeah. Colouring is pretty much spot on.
There's two versions of this. One without the giant shadow effect and such, so you can see it all in detail. But which was what I was expecting, just the non-shadow. But then they did this really cool. Sakuja did this really cool shadow version, which really captures a lot of Hat's sort of like cunning character to him, particularly with those front tentacles. Those are perfect.
So basically, as I mentioned, I don't really give much information on things because I kind of like seeing what people do. So when Liam walked up to me and said, "I need you to give a lot of details about Hat and his personality for the character artwork,"
it was basically say 5 likes, 5 dislikes,
and I went, and Liam went, "That's not good enough. Write a list." And I was like, "Oh God, why have you done this to me?"
It's as much suffering as handshakes.
So like because of course these characters are like kind of us, but not really.
They represent us.
Ambassadors. Like I was like, well, what kind of personality traits should Hat inherit from me? And I was like, well, generally, like especially more in recording than my day-to-day life, I'm much more mischievous and malicious without necessarily wanting to cause harm, but maybe taking pranks and jokes a bit too far.
Yeah.
And I really like that kind of thing that like mob bosses do, where they like twiddle their hands together, which is how that kind of thing came. I was like,
you thought you could come into my house?
I imagined it a lot kind of like James Bond villain chair.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
He spins around in this hat with a cat, and the cat's bigger than the hat.
Weaponry, of course, because Hat is I'm still violent by nature. I'm an angry person at times.
And a fascination for weapons doesn't automatically denote violence.
Yeah, it's true. But with Hat, it definitely does. It's like a whole kind of manipulator, mischievous idea.
And as that led to cunning and intelligent. Yeah. And then I thought one thing you really do like, which we ended up talking about and that we ended up incorporating, was that you really like informing people of stuff.
Yeah.
You really like... It's weird. You like educating people.
I like educating people because I like learning in general.
Which I
Whether
thought
it's
was
me
like...
learning or other people are learning.
We needed nice traits to hatch rather than just violence and manipulative, you know.
Well,
so him wanting to inform people.
He's like a... It's going to sound weird. He's kind of like a pixie or a sprite. Like a playful prankster that doesn't know its limits.
Yeah.
I mean, one of his main things is... Because, of course...
Possession.
Like, yeah.
You know,
like, okay,
which
so
horrors...
how do we have these characters?
came up with that before... You came up with that before Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I did a legit style our ideas. But the idea was like, okay, so how would we have these characters kind of like in the situations? Because, of course, Nanka can just... like, if you want to draw like artwork for like them in the games, you can just like cosplay her.
Yeah.
Hat's a hat. How many games do you play as tentacle monsters or hats? Not many. So I figured, well, he's a hat. He can sit on people's heads and just kind of manipulate their mind juice.
Yeah.
For fun.
And on the drawing, there's also T.
Yeah, of course. T is a staple.
And again,
of
really
both
like,
of us.
you know, the Star Team logo.
Yeah.
You know, signature all put on the
Slyly
T. And
slipped
yeah,
in.
the movement of Hat's tentacles is just kind of perfect. It really illustrates a lot of character just from these plush tentacles. You know, the way it holds the T in a kind of a posh douche way.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many ways a tentacle can hold T, I assume. I haven't tried.
Yeah,
I don't have tentacles. But if I did, I would.
Yeah. You find... Wait, why would you wish for tentacles? I want to hold T. You could do that without tentacles! And now you're Octodad.
Yeah, I know. That's what I went for.
Yeah.
So what's the next artwork?
The next one is, again, another Nanki illustration. This one for the Sword and Short Start.
Yes.
I saw Riniku. She had a drawing of Dawn from Pokemon. And her drawing of Dawn was kind of I was having a hard time explaining Nanka's body type to people.
Yeah.
You know, saying that she wasn't... Because I don't know cup sizes for breasts, obviously, and stuff like that. And, you know, what height to do her and all that. You know, I wanted it to be... so I did a lot of studying trying to do it, but I was still having a hard time. And I thought, well, a lot of artists, they don't want just a wall of text.
Yeah.
They want a reference. So I saw Riniku's drawing of Dawn. And her way she drew Dawn was perfect. You know, it's a sure height. Her own OC, she usually draws, is 5 feet tall. Which is what I put Nanka at then. 5 feet to 5'2", usually.
God, that's short.
It is short, but apparently the average Japanese woman's height is 5'2".
Wow.
Although that was done in like 2016 or 2015. So they apparently they're getting a bit taller.
Yeah.
Also, they're getting a bit bustier as well, apparently. But, you know. The sort of, you know, not flat, but still a smaller chest size. You know, again, this is one of the few drawings where it's perfect straight away for Nanka's chest size. And, what someone in the comment section described as healthy hips, so I've proceeded to use that tagline often. Because it's just the nice way of saying it.
Thick. Thick hip.
And that kind of came out really well in the drawing of Nanka here. The Wii U there is to... Because Sword and Short Starts, although I'm unlikely to play many Wii U games now, because of course the Wii U's not getting new games, Sword and Short started off with the Wii U of Twisted Fusion.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted it to represent that.
Also, you really like the Wii U.
And so she did it in such a way where it showed off the Wii U gamepad still.
Yeah.
She was the one who solidified MG Coco's idea of having the fluffiness to the hen one, but also did it with something similar with the sleeves and having the sleeves longer and drooping.
Yeah.
Which I really like, because I like the idea of, you know, like a magician sort of thing, of the sleeves drooping. The hair is massive, but, you know, it fits with the style.
Yeah.
You know, her style fits really well. She also was pretty good at doing the sort of lighting of the sheer tights.
Yeah.
I think some people call them pantyhose. Yeah. But yeah, really nice sort of drawing to have at the start of the Sword and Short Stars. And it works really well, sort of having it sort of fade in and out for it.
I've just noticed I'm never going to be able to look at this picture the same, but...
What?
Act 1, Green Hill Zone!
She does do Sonic artwork.
The white circle is the exact same, looks the same as like the Sonic level thing.
Yeah, she has done Sonic artwork before, so...
I'm sorry, Lee.
Maybe, I believe she's also part of the furry community as well, so maybe there's some crossover there. Yeah. Pokemon, Sonic artwork, stuff like that she's done. And, yeah. But she drew this for the Sword and Short Starts, and it came out really well. And it's a good sort of representation, although it's a bit of an angle, of Nanka's exact body proportions, which then several artists, as much as I love them, proceeded to then just add on to Nanka afterwards.
As should be.
Which such as immediately King Policy is drawing right up next.
Alright.
Where Hat shrunk and Nanka shrunk his tentacles and Nanka gained extra bust.
So,
And lost her pantyhose.
this is our most
Shit.
expensive.
Yes, the most expensive one.
Because we had... This was actually, like, heavily my idea.
Yes.
Just because I like making jokes.
Mm.
And I figured, well, there's no other way we're going to get people to follow us unless we indoctrinate them. So a cult makes sense!
This drawing was from Talking with King Policy, inspired by, I think it's her love of Dark Souls games.
Yeah,
Which is where
cool.
the background, the saying comes from.
I'd like to play like a Dark Souls or Bloodborne game, but I'm terrible at them, so it'd take a very long time.
She gave us a sketch, and then in insane speed, gave us just a full coloured version of everything. You know, like the sketch was really basics of sketch.
Yeah.
Like, so I was very surprised when, of course, like Nanka's chest size suddenly increased, or suddenly there was so much details in the background that I didn't expect there'd be. Brickwork and such. And one of my favourite details of all to this amazing piece, the reason it cost so much was, of course, so many little figures. They're hooded in shadows, so she gave us a discount off of them because they haven't got any features and they're all the same person. But one of the best details is the artifact in the middle.
The egg.
The egg, because you said, make it an egg.
Yeah, I don't...
It's the Grin Brothers logo.
I say a
You
lot
got the
of
wave
things.
here, the teeth here.
It's like,
Yeah, see?
this is like a really bad Digimon Season 2 egg.
Oh!
You've got like the egg of courage and stuff.
Sweat marks on Hat as well.
Sweat marks and crink marks on his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Around that.
I mean, he's stubby. I remember your jokes being about his stubby tentacles. Because, of course, again...
He looks kind of like he splattered on the floor,
Nanka,
which I'm chill with.
Yeah, Nanka looking on... Yeah, egg splat, you said. Yeah, like a yolk.
Which is fitting with eggs.
Nanka looking on curiously.
His feather is also thick.
I like my wife who's thick. Here's Hat with a thicker feather, you nice.
His tentacles, in general, he's quite thick in this. But it's also on the thinner eyebrows he has. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
You said it was like egg yolk with French fries. With
Yeah.
eyebrows. Which, it makes it sound like we're insulting it, but no, we love
This is a compliment.
This is a compliment.
You've got to understand, I don't, like, I take the mick out of everything. It's how I show love and hatred, so... It's just a mixed bag of joy.
Nanka's clothing, the way her dress, you know, obviously in her sitting position, the way it goes down, her expression of her posture, her sort of her curious facial expression works really well. My own, you know, the only thing I did sort of point out, but you know, it was completed so quickly and already spent so much on it. I was like, okay, I'll, you know, we can make a joke about this. You know, the egg, it's shrinking Hat down. Whereas of course, this was like the first time when Nanka suddenly gained a cup size from the looks of it. You know, but we
might
made a
also
joke about
speed of position she's in. She's like. Arching for it. Let's go with that.
But the you know, Hat shrinking, Nanka's increasing.
So the basic idea was we wanted something with
Other people.
like other people, but
crowd.
we didn't want it to show who the person was because we don't know who we are gonna have on the show ever.
And
so
my
I was like,
initial
well, cloaked hooded figures works.
My initial idea was just them on a sofa with a crowd, or so. I thought the sofa thing's too boring, you know.
Yeah. Also, there's like a meme format that I don't want to associate with that.
What, Friends?
No, it's different. I'll explain it later.
This is going to be a very long video, by the way.
it's
But
going
I'm
to be
happy.
very
I'm happy with this being a long video.
Oh yeah, it's for Christmas.
And besides, it's only going to be pictures, and I'll send it over to you anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, despite Nanka being a witch, it seems Hat does more magic dabbling than Nanka. She's just kind of staring, like, what's going on? I have no idea what's happening.
Like our ironically, head canon, not a confirmed canon that we ended up coming up with.
There is no canon involving Hat.
Nanka, around 4 or such, you know, the same age difference between me and Raph, wanted a player 2. So she got a hat and took apart one of her cuddly toys and then brought it to life, regrettably. Because Hat's kind of a jerk.
He is, yeah. Shouldn't have done that.
But she wanted a player 2.
But, I mean, that's what happens when you create demon, right?
Yeah, so, you know, her curious witchcraft ended up making a player 2, which is Hat. And it's also part of a little bit of sort of background that Hat can possess people, but can't possess Nanka.
Yeah, because otherwise...
Also can't possess due to cutscenes, but these are his 2 weaknesses.
No cutscenes! But yeah, like... I don't really have a canon for Hat, because I don't even know what he is.
Again, that's a headcanon. I want it to be loose, because it's, after all, you know, it can be...
It's fun to see people make stuff up, basically, is my general consensus, so I like seeing what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're YouTube avatars. They're not really supposed to have a firm canon.
Yeah.
There's just a personality they've got, and then,
Yeah, which the personality is...
That's fairly defined.
Hat's partly me, but partly not.
Yeah, likewise, Nanka, I just took the traits I liked and accentuated them.
Yeah.
And I took one of the few things... Because I don't like thinking, I want to be like this, but I took the one thing I do actually kind of like, the idea of, I wish I was more optimistic.
I wish I was a wizard.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I can certainly say if I was a girl, I'd be dressing up as a witch for every Halloween, so...
That's fair.
But yeah, like, I'd like I do with the Grin Brothers stuff, the moment I start recording again, because I like recording so much, I immediately become more happy and positive. Even in, like, the playthroughs where I'm getting angry, I'm still far more happy.
Despite being, it's very weird, like, in general, you are actually somewhat pessimistic. Like,
but it's the one thing, like, I don't, the one thing I don't like about myself.
Yeah, you try and be optimistic, but you seem to struggle with it. And it can be quite confusing when me, someone so droll and dead who spends most of his life complaining about things, can be surprisingly optimistic at times.
Yeah.
I tend to see myself more as realistic,
But you surprisingly believe
by
better
a
in people.
surprising amount of faith in people, unless they're retail customers.
Whereas I'm the opposite, wherein retail customers have given me faith.
And everyone else has caused you to lose it.
Moving on, we got...
I forgot how bright that was.
Fairy Bunny's super bright, which is ironic, epilepsy warning.
So...
Rafi, once again, I asked Rafi to come up with the idea, because this was a solely hat featuring artwork.
Yeah, so...
We've got like
I
four
would
more of these, by the way, to
up
talk about.
epilepsy issues, because my eyes are sensitive to light. Which is why I wear sunglasses.
Rafi would warn about that before he'd even try to warn about, age warnings or anything.
Yeah, because it affects me, like, directly. It hurts my eyes. I'm like, well, people with epilepsy are going to suffer from this as well. People like me with sensitive eyes. So it made sense having hat as the epilepsy warning. And I figured, well, light burns me, so that makes the most sense for an epilepsy warning. It's kind of, epilepsy is a whole thing about lights.
Yeah, there's a lot of games which start with an epilepsy warning, but once you get past that first screen, when you start up the game, there's no other warning.
So we needed something to put on the middle of episodes, or even games that don't have an epilepsy warning, but there are parts of the game
Mega Man 2?
Yeah, because that hurt my eyes a lot. I was like, well, okay, the sun is my natural born enemy, due to it hurting me constantly, so rather than having, like, strobe lights, which are most commonly the issue with epilepsy, I thought, the sun.
Entire John Lewis store.
Hat just burning in the sun. Ironically, this is the brightest piece of artwork we've got, to the point where it physically pains me to look at it, despite enjoying it quite a lot.
Check out Fairy Bunny's artwork. I mean, check out all the artworks, obviously. Because Fairy Bunny's artwork is unique. Mostly filled with lots of eyes and random flowers sprouting from and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is one of the main reasons why we thought it would work. Because Hat is...
weird,
unique.
And her artwork is creepy cute, I'd say. Like, there's a lot of it that's like, it's like sweet stuff like flowers and such, but then it's like eyes like splitting open, but it's an eye splitting into more eyes, and like lots of eye imagery and like weird
ironic
image to disturb you,
Hat
but
has no eyes.
Yeah, images that would disturb you, but it's all done in a very flowery pastel like style, like here.
Yeah. I like the added touch of Hat being on fire.
Yeah.
Something I've only just noticed though, that I've not
tentacles are
seen
slimy.
before. No,
which is the only time his tentacles have been portrayed to something other than fabric.
I knew that. The sunglasses go over the feather.
They do.
Yeah, it's like hold it in
Which
place.
would keep it in place. Yeah, that's pretty clever.
I just
Hat's eyebrows have turned green.
Yeah, they're also like potato wedges now.
Always changing, and his tentacles never. I mean, this is kind of close to yellow.
This is like extra thick. They actually look a bit like the tentacle item from Shantae.
Yeah, very lime green tentacles here.
But yeah, like, this is super pretty artwork. The flowers are super nice. Hat's cool.
The flowers are the one thing I didn't mention anything about, and suddenly flowers are there. I like how, just to make sure the message was clear, not just like Hat on fire.
Yeah, there's epilepsy warning.
Like, so long as people's eyes aren't blinded by how bright this is, they should be able to see that there's
that's the like darkest part of the image. So like
Yeah.
me, I deviate towards that because the sun is actually burning me.
Yeah, you have an instinct to move away from it.
Yeah, I also like the hearts in the sky. Like, it's this extra, like,
Again,
cute
it's that
vibe for Hat dying.
cutesy pastelness along with disturbing. Like, this is Hat dying, and it's
Yeah.
like, flowers and farts!
Yeah. Did you just call them farts? I'm pretty sure you just called them farts.
Yep,
So,
definitely. Yep, number
next
9.
one, another hat image.
Okay, let's see. Going back to what I said before, along with MG Coco, this Alpaca Carlesi was one of the only artists that I wrote up like 12 different artists, and I went about trying to ask each of them for a different commission or seeing if they were still, alive. One of them turned out to be dead.
Yeah, you have
Cancer.
a unique
Another
habit
one,
of
I
doing
later saw, oh man, I like this person's artwork. I remember liking it. I'll check it. Oh, wait, they're dead.
You're good at killing people.
Apparently, I've killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of King Policy in about 10 weeks now.
Well, she's
so,
probably dead.
Um,
Sorry about that. You should really stop commissioning people.
Alpaca Carlesi was one of the few people I immediately thought I'd like to commission this person.
Yeah.
And conveniently, I wanted to commission for the hat artwork. I was actually tempted. Like, I really like their art style. It suits Nanka and Hat really well, and I kind of like a drawing of Nanka. But then I thought, but it's so hard to find people who'd be perfect at drawing Hat.
Yeah.
So I immediately thought, I want to ask her to do the hat drawing because, again, it's easy to find anyone who wants to draw a cute witch girl. It's harder to find people who would do a really good job of drawing tentacle hat creature with sunglasses.
Yeah.
And I believe she's either dating or it's related to another person I was originally trying to commission. Pocola? No, not Pocola. Pororo.
Yeah.
They do this comic with this cute girl in a gothic...
in the city, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
in a
there's
gothic
another
style.
one that's connected to that.
Yeah, and has a tentacle creature, but never got back to commissioning that person because they haven't commissioned in the whole year. Like, there was doing that story took up most of their time.
Yeah, they're pretty busy.
Because they did that spin-off sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Alpaca Colossi I did get to commission, and once again I asked Rafi, this is a hat drawing, you got to give out ideas.
And this is for the ever rare Rafhan Presents.
Oh yeah, probably should mention that, yeah.
Where I actually get time to edit my own stuff instead of just recording it and never doing anything with it.
I remember this being very different from our initial idea, because the original idea that you originally threw out, because you were whilst you were lying half down on the sofa, dying, your original idea was just Hat by a PC with a GameCube controller.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you just randomly said, Hat, PC, GameCube stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then it became far more unique here.
Yeah, I figured.
When I asked again, 6 months after.
Hat's, a magical being with trickster powers. I thought, well, show magicians. They're all about tricking and deceiving people, like the scum they are.
And it works as presenting.
I'm on you. Yeah, and I really liked the idea of kind of like a curtain reveal, because curtain reveals are dope.
Yeah, you said Paper Mario 1000-Year Door. You said as the...
Yeah, because it's like a curtain reveal.
Yeah.
It's like curtain reveals.
Hat's feathers turn purple or blue here instead of pink.
Doesn't matter.
Again, always Hat changing.
Also, the idea of Hat pulling something out of a hat is funny. So that's cool that they did that. The general idea was I just wanted Hat with the curtain surrounding thing on a stage magician doing something. It's also kind of cool, when you consider that, Nanka's a witch, so now we've got stage magician thing going on with Hat as well,
Yeah.
actual magic stuff.
Yeah. The bringing a Hat plush toy to life was not actual magic. That's the trickster stuff. Pulling a rabbit out of a hat. No, that's real magic.
It's also interesting to note that
Or two
Hat's
giant
eyebrows
spoons.
have become mozzarella sticks.
Yeah. They are moving though. So
yeah.
good expression there.
He's got another sweat drop.
I love the
Hat's
spotlight with
sweat.
the little flecks of light. Which you always see. Those bits of dust when you move about really quickly.
Yeah. He's got more patches and varying stuff, and colour. His glasses have changed colour yet again because I like that.
They're tinted green.
And they're tinted yellow.
Ah.
And then the frame is green. But I mean, as I've said before, it's fun to see what people change.
Yeah.
He's got more of a body in this as well.
Yeah, that's funny because that was never originally the case. It was originally just tentacles stapled on to effectively...
Well, they were supposed to come out of the actual headpiece of the hat. The hole in the hat is where Hat...
And Hat slowly has been getting more of a body.
Yeah, he's gradually developed a body somehow. Because I never really thought of a limit on tentacles. You could just pop out as many as you wanted. But
Yeah.
I mean, yet again, I'm just letting them pretty much do what they want. So it's fun that way. Yeah, it's really nice. I like it. I like the general idea of it. I will get around to using it more. I've got a video I need to edit that I've done recently that I'll be able to use it, which is going to be the worst video you've ever witnessed because it's me on my own talking to myself.
Yeah, it's not like the Overwatch one which by the way, you needed to incorporate the 18 raid warning in those Overwatch videos next time.
I do.
Because, wow, your friend...
just in general, assume if it's Raffahan Presents, it's probably also 18 rated.
Maybe you should have put an 18 on the top of the hat there.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. And this is sadly one I'm not going to be able to use much because Kickstarters haven't been popping up too much recently. But here is a Nanka artwork by Luvera UC for the kickoff videos I did, a spin-off of the Tea Time.
Yeah.
Where I was...
Where he runs around kicking things for a solid 10 minutes.
Where I promote Kickstarters. Well, that wouldn't be very interesting. It's just a picture of Nanka kicking a football as I go around kicking things. You just hear me kicking
Hear the
things.
pet and you stub your toe. I don't know, I'd watch that.
But yeah, the idea was kind of pretty obvious, with a kickoff being the name of the series, based off of, football and Kickstarters. The football theming just because, kick. So, kick off. I'm trying to help a Kickstarter succeed, so kick off.
Yeah.
And there were two initial ideas. It was Nanka on a football pitch sort of thing, but the idea also about the idea of maybe not in the football uniform, maybe in like a cheerleader uniform instead. Throw out possibilities. I never tend to suggest ideas where Nanka's not wearing either a dress or skirts.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of shorts, for instance. But I think this has come out really well and looks really nice, the football uniform on Nanka, because the colour scheme and everything really reflects the channel really well.
Yeah.
There was two poses I really like. One was a really cute pose, but I felt that for kickoff I needed a more dynamic pose.
Yeah.
And one which was able to show a lot of Nanka whilst at the same time showing off the Kickstar coloured ball there. The Kickstar green with the white.
Yeah.
So this pose was what I went through. I got given a sketch thing of 6 different poses. But this one reflected the most. The way her braid moves is great. With this artwork, I actually got sent several... I got sent the sort of flat colour version, oh, this is really nice. Then I got sent the next version, oh man, thank you for the final product. And then she just started telling me more and more. And it's getting better and better. It's I thought this was ended. You already done a satisfying job, and no, this is even better. This is even better. More and more shading, detail, and everything. Yeah. Just kept popping up again and again and again and again. And
the art never ends.
The arm over there to the left moved about a bit, how it was positioned. Originally the pink there was black, but I asked it to be changed to a pink to reflect more of Nanka's character as well. Orange and pink being her favourite colours. The yellow was to reflect the Grin Brothers, and and there's the Grin Brothers logo. Surprisingly, it looks, surprisingly fitting very well onto a uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice depiction of Nanka, and really nice sort of pose to it, and really so much more detail in the background of saying than I thought there'd be.
Yeah. Given that you could have just done an empty football field. But it's nice that you worked hard for us, given that we are we're not exactly high-end in anything we do.
Hopefully there'll be more Kickstarters that interest me, because I really would like to use this artwork more. But I've so far already had it included in one for the kickoff. But okay, moving on to the banner artwork, which
we've got 6 different
versions of it. The Grin Brothers banner art by Aero Hale, or Aero Zero Hale.
The main thing you can take out of this is we're horribly messy and don't know how to clean up after ourselves.
That is kind of true.
Christ, there are wires everywhere.
To be fair, this idea came about, one, because we didn't want to use the sofa idea, and because we commented that we've got wires keep getting tangled up.
Yeah.
So it's wires tangled up. And this was a very hard one for references. Because you look up tangled up, or caught in wires, is wrapped up, and it's nothing good comes out of DeviantArt from that.
No.
Nothing. There was no way I could really find anything that wasn't just some, bondage fetish sort of thing. So seeing how this artwork came out so adorably cute and innocent is so nice.
Yeah.
it is so...
It's quite impressive, actually, that it's not been corrupted. Poor Hat, though, is really struggling.
Yeah, at least he's got the GameCube.
Also, stop leaving the mouse
Sorry,
in the middle of the picture.
It's nice that the GameCube controllers are what they're currently playing, given we can't actually use the GameCube controller. Interesting fun little fact.
GameCube is the superior console compared to everything.
There's like 6 different versions. I can't remember which one we got as the banner. I think I used either this one or the yellowy one or the pink one for the Tumblr. We use a different one for the Tumblr, the YouTube, and
Twitter.
Yeah. So 3 out of the 6 get used.
Yeah.
And I used one of them in a video once, which was not one of the ones which was featured on our pages sort of thing. But a fun little thing is version differences region differences, because of course there's the SNES there, but it's the American version SNES. So instead of our sort of PAL region really colourful SNES, it's the purple and grey one.
Yeah,
which is an interesting thing. I
used...
have no problems with that because again it kind of reflects the artist in a way. Like this artist isn't from the UK for instance, so I felt that was good to have keep that in to reflect them.
I used the nighttime one for Twitter.
Yeah.
So
we've got this grey one here. Really like that one. I like the wire tugging on Nanka's arm, and you got the little sort of a really big sort of white action mark.
Yeah.
To illustrate that, and the Nanka's expression is cute, sort of reacting to that.
Hat's eyebrows have now upgraded to potato wedges again.
Again, Hat's very plush-like here. The stitching is still visible, even on his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Really solid, and it's kind of funny. It's so soft everywhere, but then you see how solid the sunglasses are.
Yeah, which makes sense.
It's kind of expressed really well, and the feather has a kind of neat thing where it's kind of half detailed, half you can see it sort of like being more of a block color. It's in the background. It's really nice.
It's cool.
Yeah, really cute artwork, taking an idea which I just couldn't find anything that was innocent.
Yeah.
About and making it innocent. It's really nice. I saw this person drew Dunsparce and I was like, I want to commission this person one day. And
what's more impressive is it's like a chibi styled artwork, and you still managed to make Hat look like chibi-esque.
Yeah.
Not having a body or head.
Even he's got action marks there.
It's him struggling because he can't do anything.
He can't. You just
He can't.
Hat can't. He can't.
How did he get into that state?
Nanka and Hat can't today.
Yeah, they just gave up with life.
And of course the Grin Brothers logo is sort of like
glad they have their own planet to play games on though.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're playing games, but it's cool. Like it's falling off. They're like on some the wires are going down, so they're like on some sort of
Hat's demonic realm brought to reality.
Yeah, demonic realm maybe for the nighttime one, but then you got like this plush sort of plushy pinks and yellows.
That can have cute colours.
This would hurt his eyes. This one.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
This is one of my various realms. Ah!
It's designed to bring pain.
Yeah, really like it. Thank you very much for the artwork, Arahale.
I'm assuming this is the last one.
There's 2 more, but I think we'll end. But I'll include those in a later because I've got more we can do for a thank you one. But let's end it off with the main Grin Brothers artwork, which is it's kind of funny that of the artworks we needed for the channel specifically, this was our very last one.
Yeah. Our actual
for our actual videos, because I was waiting on Pororo the entire time for this one, because again, Arya and the city, Arya and the tentacle creature, they fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Cute girl plus tentacle creature. So I thought they could easily do it. In the end, though, ended up searching out, and I stumbled upon. I was going through because I was at this point where it's like, okay, most of my artists I look up for are either busy or dead, so I've got to look for
someone who
else.
Is neither.
So I ran through artworks. I saw this artwork. I think it was Final Fantasy IX, Zidane and Garnet, because I absolutely love Final Fantasy IX. Clicked on the artwork. Checked, because I was just checking my old artworks folder. I think I went down like 50 pages worth of it.
Jesus.
Clicked on it. Went to check if they were doing entries. Oh yeah, they are. Saw that Gary, because it was a more simple artwork back then, and it's like, holy heck!
They improved.
They are it was good before, but it was like a very plain background sort of one.
Yeah. Oh
my gosh, their artwork is fantastic. Bit costly, but to be expected for something of this quality. And so I commissioned them. I knew it was a bit dear, but somehow less than the King Policy one. And so I commissioned them, mainly for Nanka and Hat. I didn't expect the background of this sheer magnitude.
Yeah, when
I didn't
we
expect
saw
the
like
lighting
the
of such-
sketches, I thought it was like an Arctic wasteland.
Yeah.
Which my comment was, wow, it's very fitting. We're dragging you into a wasteland.
And then, of course, we suddenly get sent it over and...
It's a
boom!
forest mountain. Foreston.
It took a while to get Nanka's chest size right. It
Yeah.
was a lot bigger before. Then it shrunk to non-existent. So I kind of like, no, okay, somewhere in between here.
Yeah.
You went to both extremes here. The shield detail on her clothing, her eyes, and her hair, the lighting is just phenomenal. There's little sparkles and everything. The sunlight rays going all the way across the trees. And everything's dazzling. Hats, then the sunglasses.
Yep. Lensless sunglasses. His
and
little
even-
fries for eyebrows. His feather looks amazing, and like he looks, he's really impressively done. He's very smooth, no creases in him.
Yeah, he's in an odd sense he's less detailed, but in another sense he's more detailed.
Yeah, like it's a weird way to describe it. He looks felty, but unlike Nanka's clothes, there's no crinkles or anything. He's been freshly ironed.
Yeah, freshly ironed. He wanted to be immaculate for his
He had
appearance here.
He had a shower in the washing machine, and threw in an extra bit of softening fabric softener. That's why he's got no lenses. They fell out. He's just not put them back in yet.
I think that should be the next commission, actually. Just hat in the washing machine. And of course, like the idea I wanted was Nanka and Hat inviting you on an adventure. So I wanted them facing you, both being clearly visible, with their sort of hands out, or tentacle in Hat's case, so like inviting you around. Or it kind of also looks like Hat's doing the
Yeah, it looks
laugh.
like he's laughing at you, which is very fitting. I feel that suits Hat a lot.
So I wanted a very fantasy-esque landscape, and wow, they delivered on that.
Yeah, just a touch.
And you were
After
one...
all, forests aren't real.
and your one request
Yeah,
were added.
So Liam kept on nagging me, and my response every time was, it looks good. No, is there anything you want to change? Is there anything you want to add? It looks good. Is there anything about Hat? Anything about anything? I was like,
because this
it
is
looks
like,
good.
aside from I'd say the individual Nanka and Hat artworks, some references for everything, this was the most important artwork for our
This is,
entire channel.
in theory, it's supposed to be used constantly, which is why we haven't used it for 64 episodes.
You're to blame for that.
You actually were the one that said, do you want to play one of these game modes before we go on to...
I asked you a question!
And I went...
Much like this case, I am,
sure.
I guess, to blame for
you are, yeah.
your one
So
addition here.
He kept nagging, and eventually, like, I said the same thing over and over, which was like, no, I like it. I don't like what they've done, I like seeing how the artists do things. And I started to walk away.
RN, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned her name, but
I think
Ruini
you did.
RN is the artist here.
But actually, I don't think you did, so good thing you did. But I started to walk away, and I'm pretty sure you said it again. I was like, you know what? Fine. I do want something added. You're like, what was it? I want an eggplant. And I believe your exact response was, what? And I said, I just want an eggplant. I don't care where it is. I don't care like how detailed or anything it is. I just want an eggplant somewhere in the picture.
And so there were eggplants added to the picture. Yeah. 2, in fact.
There are 2 eggplants. I was expecting just like... In my head, I imagine it is just kind of like hidden way off in the distance. It's like a tiny little eggplant. But we've got it in the bottom corner, eggplant.
Yeah, very, actually, again, the line's really well off of that, and it blends in a lot with the setting.
That was my only desire for this entire artwork, just an eggplant.
Which, once I got the sketch, my only sort of change I kept mentioning was, okay, chest size. No. Because, yeah, gosh, everything else is absolutely stunning, like, instantly. And then, of course, you see it, like, oh! Because all this background suddenly popped up.
That's an eggplant!
The fluffiness of Nanka's hemline to her dress, the sort of bagginess of her sleeves here. There's a lot of sort of space in between it. And, again, the posing is exactly what I wanted, inviting you on an adventure. Yeah. And I hope that's how people feel when they look at our videos.
I doubt it.
I hope that...
We're not inviting them on an adventure, we're dragging them to hell.
Our last few episodes have each gone about 8 views.
Ugh, hideous.
Yeah?
How dare they?
Yeah, and it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. All of our artworks have been great, but I don't think I'm biased in saying I think this is like the cream of the crop.
Cream. I like cream.
But yes.
It does have an eggplant in it, so... you know.
Which you just wanted because it's visually appealing to you.
It's just funny. I don't know, I find eggplants entertaining.
So yes, thank you all of you wonderful artists for all of the Grin Brothers commissions you've done for us. They've turned out absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping they'll help push this channel to greater heights, that being a height off the ground.
No, we need to reach ground level first.
We'll start underground. And, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's so... Like, I've unfortunately now got a commissioning addiction. Which doesn't help because I'm the richest person in the house, so I can easily get more commissions done. Because it's just so nice seeing our characters being drawn by people other than ourselves, so they actually look decent.
I like to think that people enjoy that I give them a bit more freedom with artwork. Because I know, like, of course artists need some form of, like, you know, baseline to go off of. And I like to think I give them a basic enough thing. But I know a lot of people can be very picky and particular with things and don't like things being changed and complain a lot about art.
Yeah.
And artists have to put up with a lot of grief and hassle from people like that.
Mm.
Even when it's just artwork they drew without commissioning, people will still come in and complain about things. So I want to be able to help and offer, you know, hey, here's something you can, you know, draw.
Yeah, make sure they have a good time. I always ask that when commissioning.
Do it in your own kind of style, you know. That's why I want to see your art.
That's why I also decided to immediately head on, mainly after the Perora thing. After Perora was busy, I thought, well, you know what would be better? Every single artwork is done by a different person, so for the channel.
Yeah.
So each artwork has its own character, its own style. And I like how much of that there is to each of them. They all stand out apart from each other really well.
Good variety.
And so each video is more so than just the pictures themselves, but just from the style of them is instantly recognisable as a different kind of video.
There is one thing I'd like to mention though before we finish.
Yep.
I assume it was one of the other artworks you had stored up to mention, but we are running out of time, I assume.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to be an hour long at this point.
But this needs to be mentioned.
We're going to be an hour long.
Some of you people have serious problems. Why you want to draw Grin Dude is completely beyond me. I cannot fathom why, of all the things we offer you, you want to draw a guy that I can only describe as a nightmare creation that I made in less than 5 minutes because Liam said we need someone to play as for Nintendo Land, and I was like, cool, I'll make an abomination. I didn't even try that hard to make an abomination. I half-arsed my half-arsery, and the only other added description is he looks like a middle-aged wife-beater. Why you want to draw that is beyond me. There is so little appealing about him. In fact, he was designed to be the opposite of appealing. Yet for some insane reason you want to draw it. Why? Explain, please. I understand it's different and you're not used to it, but why?
Well, Merry Christmas!